You want them to respect you, right? Nah, that's too soft. You want them to fear you. You want to walk into a room and their breath catches. No words, no smile, no nod of approval, just silence. Let the quiet choke the life out of them. You see, words are cheap. Actions, well, actions are louder, but silence is a scream, my friend. It's the kind of scream that echoes in their heads when you leave the room, long after you've gone. People, they're predictable, weak, always running their mouths, trying to convince others they're strong, important, that they matter. What a joke. The more they talk, the more they reveal how desperate they are for approval. They don't see it, but everyone else does. You're going to be different. You're going to stand there, say nothing, not a word. Your face blank, empty, dead inside. You let them fill in the blanks. You're here because you think I can help you, huh? You want me to tell you how to get the respect, the fear, the power that makes people take you seriously, huh? You think you need more words, more tricks, more ways to get inside their heads, right? That's where you're wrong, dead wrong. What you need, it's already inside you. Let me tell you something. You've been lied to your whole life, told that talking, explaining, asking for respect is the way to get ahead. But let me ask you, how's that working for you? You've been talking, explaining yourself, playing the game, and where has it gotten you? Nowhere. You know why? Because words are for the weak, the desperate, and you don't need their approval. What you need is silence. Cold, unforgiving silence. You ever been in a room where no one speaks, but everyone feels that tension, that knot in their stomach that just won't go away? That's what you're going to create. That's the kind of power you want, the kind that doesn't rely on words or actions, just your very presence. They'll feel it when you walk in. The air will get heavier, the room will get quieter, and they'll be looking at you, wondering what you're thinking, what you're planning, and you won't say a word. Let's get one thing straight. People, they don't care about you, not really. Oh, they'll smile to your face, shake your hand, pretend like you're important to them. But the second you turn your back, they forget you exist. That's the truth, and that's where your power lies. When you stop caring about them, when you stop needing them, you'll become something they fear, something they can't control. See, you've been playing by their rules. You've been trying to fit into a system that was never designed for you. You've been following the script, thinking that if you play nice, if you do everything right, you'll get what you deserve. But the world doesn't work like that. Nah, the world doesn't care about what you deserve. It only cares about who's willing to take what they want without asking for permission. That's where silence comes in. When you stop talking, when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop reacting to every little thing they do, you'll realize something. They're scared of silence. They're terrified of what they don't understand. And the less you give them, the more they'll fear you. Think about it. How many times have you opened your mouth only to regret it later? How many times have you explained yourself, tried to justify your actions, only to realize it didn't change a damn thing? Every word you speak is just another opportunity for them to twist your meaning, to use your own voice against you. But if you stay silent, if you let the quiet do the talking, you take away their power, you leave them with nothing. Now you might be thinking, but if I don't speak up, how will they know who I am? How will they respect me? That's the trap they want you to fall into. They want you to believe that you have to shout to be heard, that you have to fight for their attention. But the truth is, the quieter you are, the louder your presence becomes. You ever seen someone walk into a room and instantly command attention without saying a word? That's not an accident. That's control. That's power. It's the way they carry themselves, the way they look at everyone around them like they're in charge. And it's not just about being quiet. It's about what that silence means. When you stay silent, you're telling the world that you don't need to explain yourself, that you don't care what they think, that their opinions, their judgments are irrelevant to you. And that scares them. It scares them because they need you to care. They need you to play the game. They need you to react, to engage, to validate their existence. But when you refuse to give them that, when you stand there, emotionless, expressionless, silent, they start to question everything, and that's when you've won. Because the truth is, most people are weak. They're insecure, scared, constantly looking for approval from others. They talk because they're afraid of the silence. They react because they don't know how to handle stillness. But you're going to be different. You're going to be the person who doesn't need to speak to make a statement. You're going to be the one who stands in the middle of the storm and doesn't flinch. Let them talk. Let them run their mouths. Try to provoke you. Try to get a reaction out of you. You won't give them what they want. You won't rise to their level. You'll stay calm, collected, quiet, and they'll hate you for it. They'll despise you because they can't control you, can't predict you, can't get inside your head. And that's exactly what you want. See, silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a weapon, a powerful one. And when you learn how to wield it, there's nothing they can do to stop you. They'll fear your presence, not because of what you say or what you do, but because of what you don't say, what you don't do. They'll be terrified of the unknown, of what's going on inside your head. And the beauty of it is, they'll create their own nightmares, their own fears. You ever notice how people talk more when they're nervous, when they're scared? It's because they don't know how to handle the quiet. They don't know what to do with the silence. And the longer you stay quiet, the more they unravel, the more they expose their own weaknesses. And that's when you strike, not with words, not with actions, but with your very presence. You're going to become the person who doesn't need to raise a fist, doesn't need to shout to be heard. You're going to be the one who walks into a room and everyone feels you before they even see you. And when you leave, they'll be talking about you long after you're gone, not because of what you said, but because of what you didn't say. Now, this ain't easy. It takes discipline. It takes strength. You'll want to react, want to speak up, want to defend yourself, but you have to resist that urge. You have to be stronger than them, stronger than your own emotions. You have to stay calm, stay still, stay silent, because every time you do, you're building power. Every time you refuse to engage, you're making them weaker. And here's the kicker. The more they push, the more desperate they become. They'll try everything to get a rise out of you. Insults, threats, even violence. But you're untouchable. You're above it all. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to justify your existence. Your silence is all the proof they need. Eventually, they'll break. They'll snap under the pressure, under the weight of their own insecurities. And when they do, that's when you've won. Not because you fought back, not because you argued or defended yourself, but because you stayed silent, you stayed in control, and that's what scares them the most. But don't mistake silence for weakness. No, that's where most people get it twisted. They think if you're not shouting, not arguing, not fighting back, that you're losing. But let me tell you something. Silence isn't surrender. It's strategy. It's letting the noise of the world pass you by while you stand still, unshaken, like a mountain in the middle of a storm. You're not bowing out of the fight. You're choosing a weapon more dangerous than fists or words, because silence, it cuts deeper than any insult ever could. It lingers, and that's where your power comes from. When you make them question themselves, make them feel small in the face of your quiet resolve. Here's the thing they'll never understand until it's too late. Silence breeds fear because people fear what they can't predict, what they can't control. And when you stop reacting, when you stop feeding into their games, they'll lose control, they'll panic, they'll spiral. Because humans, they need reactions, they need feedback. They need to know how you're feeling so they can feel safe in their own little bubbles. But when you stay cold, unreadable, they'll drown in their own insecurities, their own paranoia. They'll start asking themselves, what is he thinking? What is he planning? And the longer they don't know, the more it eats away at them. You see, silence is a mirror. It forces them to see themselves, their fears, their weaknesses, reflected back at them. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to raise a hand. You just stand there, still, quiet, and let them destroy themselves from the inside out. Let them unravel piece by piece. That's how you win. Not by fighting their battles, but by making them fight themselves. And trust me, that's a fight they'll never win. You see, in this world, the loudest person in the room isn't the strongest. The one who talks the most, who brags the most, who makes the most noise, they're the weakest. They're trying to convince themselves and everyone else that they matter. But the one who stays quiet, the one who doesn't feel the need to prove anything, that's the person who holds the real power. So stop talking, stop reacting, stop playing their game, stand still, be quiet. Let your silence speak for you. Let it become the thing they fear the most. And when they finally realize that they can't break you, that they can't control you, that they can't get inside your head, they'll fear you without you uttering a single word.